Welcome to the Streetport Connection with Tommy, and this is going to be about your SmackDown results, spoilers, whatever you want to call it, from Liverpool, England, the same place that Raw was last night, and some other internet, let's say, or WWE.com exclusives with your superstars and your NXT results as well. But first, always, WWE news. And here we go. Former WWE star Sean X-Pac Waltman announced that he will be hosting a party in St. Louis to kick off Royal Rumble weekend. The event will be taking place on January 28th at the Europe nightclub. The event will run from 6 to 10 p.m. on the night before the Rumble, and Waltman teases that some of his friends will be there as well. Tickets go on sale for the party December 1st. For more details, visit mywrestlingparty.com. Yep, that's what he set up for it. Speaking of that, the WrestleMania party that Waltman and Kevin Nash hosted in Atlanta received great reviews from correspondents, and there are others who were approachable and spent a lot of time signing autographs and mingling with the fans. Advertised dark match for tonight's SmackDown taping is Big Show, Randy Orton, and Sheamus versus Mark Henry, Christian, and Cody Rhodes, with Booker T as special guest referee. WWE Raw crew was in Newcastle, England tonight at the Metro Radio Arena with the following advertised matches: Alberto Del Rio versus John Cena for the WWE Championship, CM Punk versus The Miz, and they was looking for the results on that from Live Events Report, and what have you from the international tour. Mick Foley will not be at SmackDown tapings. Rather, they swapped him over to the Raw, since they say he's only doing the live events shows now. And at last night's live events for the SmackDown event, he played part as a matchmaker. And he booked a match on the program. But he did advertise Foley's television return for next week in Boston, Massachusetts for the 3-hour Raw featuring The Rock. But unknown if he's going to be there because it's not confirmed yet. WWE wrestler Ted DiBiase Jr. turned 29 today. Happy birthday, Ted. He was born November 8th, 1982, and he's celebrating his birthday in Liverpool with a SmackDown taping. And he wins a match on his birthday, so what a happy birthday present for himself. Breaks his losing streak. Former ECW, WWE talent and now TNA agent Al Snow had to back out of his Dinner with the Legends appearance that was scheduled for November 12th. However, the event will still take place with WWE Hall of Famer Iron Sheik. Fans who attend the event will receive autograph photos from Tony Atlas and Iron Sheik, and discount to Iron Sheik's stand-up comedy show. More details, visit stlouiswrestling.webs.com. Former WWE star Chyna reported that she will be receiving an award on Friday night. Well, she spoke about the certified letter she wrote to Vince McMahon about doing business with her. She stated that she heard back from him and he wasn't ready to do that. But she said the exchange gave her closure. So there's no return to WWE wrestling. And You can watch a footage from an interview from, I believe it was on the Howard Stern show on YouTube.com. I was going to write this down, but I'll just give it to you as a link. YouTube.com/watch V equals S4YP9Y7QWKY. And that's it. And that's the link. There are some additional WWE talk, but the majority of the interview was focused on her porn movie. She did say that she was not broke, but that she's living on fumes. For a full recap, you can visit marksfriggin.com. That's MarksFriggin.com. WWE Hall of Famer commented on Michael Cole's challenge for next Monday. And he says he will be in Boston next week for the 3-hour Raw. And he will take the Michael Cole challenge. Ross wrote on Twitter, it's a setup. Doesn't matter. Follow Ross on Twitter at twitter.com/JRsBarbecue. WWE has successfully numbed the audience to the point that they didn't get excited over the possibility of Jim Ross getting his job back. I think the fans would pop if it happened. But they've seen the company mess with Ross so many times that it won't get their hope. They won't get their hopes up. He also commented on Undertaker's return to wrestling, whether it happens or not. Here's an update on Barry Windham, former WWE star and WCW star and NWA star. His dad, WWE Hall of Famer Blackjack Mulligan, told Mike Mooneyham of the Post and Courier that it was actually his wife that found their son Barry Windham at the family's ranch in Florida last month. He said, "He just fell. He passed out. He was totally out of it. When we found him, he couldn't hear me. I asked him how many fingers I had, and he said he didn't know. He couldn't raise his right hand, and he couldn't move his right fingers. He obviously fell, but we don't know why. It could have been all day before we found him. By then, the organs were failing, and he didn't even recognize us." Mulligan also says that Wyndham's left knee was the size of a cantaloupe from the fall, and that his right foot had been turned into a 45-degree angle and spun inside his femur. Wyndham's left knee was dislocated. His right wrist was broken from the fall, and he suffered an elbow injury, as well as a big knot on the back of his head. There was fear that Wyndham had suffered chipped or broken neck that was affecting the nerves in his arms and leg, but Wyndham did recover feeling in his fingers and toes. Wyndham did have a heart attack, and the heart attack procedure went well. Doctor said that when there was minimal damage, and Wyndham had a big, strong heart. Mulligan said that his son is facing long-term rehab and possibly need leg surgery. He said it's going to be a long deal. It was a very close call. We almost lost him. Mulligan revealed that WWE is paying for Wyndham's rehab treatments, as Triple H, Wyndham's longtime friend, approved all of the funding. Mulligan said a big black Cadillac limo pulled up to the hospital. The chauffeur got out, and 2 doctors put Barry in the back of an ambulance and whisked him off. He's at a place where they're taking care of all of his problems. He's being ministered to physically and spiritually. And that was the end of the report with Barry Windham. WWE Hall of Famer superstar Billy Graham, 68, was hospitalized yesterday in Phoenix, Arizona for pneumonia. He is on antibiotics and in stable condition. Billy had a cough last night when I guess this was the reporter. I spoke to him, his agent, Scott Epstein. He said he also had a low-grade fever and was going to the ER as a precaution. Valerie, his wife, called Epstein this morning to tell him he was admitted. She will update him later this evening. JR has updated the Q&A section of his official website with numerous answers to fans' questions. He gives a take on The Undertaker. This was what I was talking about earlier. On Undertaker's future, the status of Air Boom following Evan Bourne's 30-day suspension, and whether Batista will return to WWE, and more. First question. Hey, JR, with Evan Bourne's current suspension, do you feel that this may affect the tag titles and Air Boom's status as a tag team, knowing there's a pay-per-view coming up? Or do you think they may not even have the titles defended at Survivor Series? And he answers, won't do them any favors. Not good. Disappointing. Next question is the Undertaker a part-time WrestleMania performer? Or is there a chance we will see him on a semi-regular basis? His answer is, what I love about Taker is his unpredictability. I see Taker back at WrestleMania 28 without question. After that, I don't know. Next question, to me, the big money match WWE has had for the past few years is Undertaker versus John Cena at WrestleMania. Will it ever happen now, and why hasn't it happened yet? And his answer is hard to predict. I'd say less than 50-50. And his next question, do you think that Dave Batista will come back? Because he's the favorite wrestler, WWE superstar. But please let him come back if you can. Thank you. Well, JR's response is I'd never say never on Batista, but I'd be shocked if he attempted to come back and compete as a full-time wrestler. Next question. Do you think the Chris Benoit we enjoyed watching wrestle and who we knew as one of the greatest wrestlers of a generation will ever have any matches shown again? For example, on the WWE On Demand site? And his answer is, I'd be shocked to see Benoit's career have much exposure on any platform going forward. And that's all that is reported on that. As seen on Friday's SmackDown, Epico has joined Hunico to feud against Sin Cara. Word is that Averno may finally be signed by WWE to team with Cara against the former FCW Tag Team Champions. Cara requested that Averno be signed by WWE earlier this year to work with. Reports out of Mexico this year have been sent back and forth on whether or not Averno was coming in. After the recent WWE tour of Mexico, where Averno took part in tryouts, it said he's now waiting on the call to join WWE's Blue brand for the tag team feud. Well, that's SmackDown, of course. And speaking of that little faction, we got another member that was added to their faction, the heel faction of Hunico and Epico. Well, Primo was added at tonight's tapings. Okay, if you didn't know, Monday's Raw saw Mason Ryan quickly defeat JTG. Well, the appearance marked as JTG's first match on Raw since being transferred back in April through the supplemental draft. And what you've all been waiting for, NXT taping. All these the reports are reported by a .NET reader, Dan Shilley, and two others that were also there as well. NXT taping, dark match. Jessica Gabriel beat Matthew Kay. I believe that was his name. Local wrestler from England. There was a bit with the rookies to start off the show, Matchmaker set up a tag match with Johnny Curtis and Derek Bateman versus Percy Watson and Titus O'Neil. Well, match number 1, Tyson Kidd defeated Trent Beretta. Kidd won in a 10-minute match with a submission hold. Match number 2, Jimmy Uso with Jey Uso defeated JTG with Chyna. God awful. Wow, JTG's got a new member, well, a manager. Well, this is NXT. Well, Johnny Curtis in the 3rd match and Derek Bateman beat Titus O'Neil and Percy Watson. Nothing to write home about. Generic tag match. 0 heat for Bateman and Curtis. Lots of "We Want Regal" chanting going on. Regal was not on commentary. That concluded the NXT taping. In your superstars from the SmackDown version match, Daniel Bryan defeated William Regal. This was a rematch from last night's SmackDown live event show in a different city. Okay, Daniel Bryan, he won. Halfway down, Daniel Bryan beat William Regal. Halfway down Regal's entrance, his old theme music piped in. Bryan pissed himself in the ring. Really good match, and you'd expect from these two. Lots of support for Regal. Bryan made Regal tap out with the LeBell Lock. They shook hands after the match. Well, Alex is the guy that was with one of the other reports. He noted that the building is nowhere near as full as it was last night on Raw taping. I mean, it's the same arena. And that concluded your Superstars taping. Of course, Alex Riley won a match last night for his Superstars match. And now for your SmackDown. November the 11th, 2011, Friday's the television show. Dan Shelley and Alex Gordon. In Liverpool, England, and passing along updates, as it took about 4 hours for it to get the full results. Randy Orton comes out to start off the show, talks about leading his Survivor Series team. Yes, so far that's the only one that has led up. As advertised on WWE.com on, I believe it was over the weekend. Well, Orton said he was going to beat them one by one. But when he got to Wade Barrett's name, his music played and he came out. Barrett said he's the natural leader and said beating Orton's team at Survivor Series would show he's ready to be a world champion for the first time. That was basically it for there. Well, Chris's music hit and he came out in a neck brace. The biggest, he bigged up Barrett and said he inspires people. He said he and Barrett should send a message, and the three began to brawl. Sheamus ran out to even the score with a 2-on-2. Orton and Sheamus cleared the heels from the ring. Well, after that, Teddy Long's music hit, and he ordered Christian versus Sheamus was up next. He also announced later in the show, Barrett versus Orton for later. Match number 1, well, Sheamus defeated Christian with a Celtic Cross. Another good match between the two. One sweet spot was when Christian jumped out of the ring, got caught by Sheamus, who then ran him into the barricade. Well, the footage backstage, Daniel Bryan was talking backstage with AJ and Caitlyn about he almost cashed in last week. Well, Mark Henry turned up and said, how dare Bryan almost cash it in? He said Bryan had guts, but he will spill them later tonight in their match. A promo package for Ezekiel Jackson was shown. A terrible Teddy Long and a sauna backstage segment occurred. Less than said than better. Alicia Fox was involved. Match number 2, Ted DiBiase is on a winning streak now. He defeated Jinder Mahal. Jinder didn't even get much of an entrance Ted won in a quick squash match. Match number 3, Mark Henry beat Daniel Bryan. Henry won with a Royal Strongest Slam. After the match, Henry got the chair, meaning to break his leg, but Bryan took the chair away from him and hit Henry with it. Henry no-sold the shot and gave him the World's Strongest Slam several times. He put him in the corner with a chair on his leg, but Big Show made the save. Henry kept Show out of the ring and hit Bryan on the back with the chair. Show stood on the apron and the two had a stare down. Until Henry got out of the ring, Show got in, tossed the World Championship back to Henry, then got on the mic to trash talk him. Match number 4, Big Show defeated 3 enhancement wrestlers, I guess all from the Liverpool area. Henry then trashed Big Show from the ramp. Henry botched his promo afterwards, so they might be doing some editing and redoing. He said he has impressed everyone and he will beat Show at Survivor Series and leave him with a lasting impression. Match number 5, Alicia Fox defeated Tamina. Natalya was on commentary, and Dan Chili said it was a crappy match. There was a bit with Sheamus and Matt Striker talking about Sheamus' temper. Then sorry about that. That's Hunico, Epico, and Primo, WWE version, made their way to the ring. Usos came out with their what do you call it? Their little chant entrance. Okay, and this is match number 6. Hunico and Epico defeated the Usos. After the match, the Mexicans triple beat on the Usos, and yes, Primo was in their corner. And that's including a sweet triple finisher. Hunico got the mic and spoke in Spanish and got the what treatment from the crowd. Got a bad cough. Chest cold. Okay, like I said, Primo was in their corner for the triple beat down. Match number 7, Wade Barrett defeated Randy Orton. What a surprise! Orton went for the RKO for the finish, and Barrett avoided it. Barrett won with a thumb to the eye, then a roll up. And now that ends your TV taping, and now for your dark match main event of SmackDown. 6-man tag, Sheamus, Randy Orton, and Big Show defeated Cody Rhodes, Christian, and Mark Henry with Booker T as a special referee. Henry and Show battled to the back. Christian and Sheamus did the same, which left Rhodes to eat an RKO and take the pin. Well, Booker T did a spin-a-rooney and Orton even attempted one. Real funny stuff. Henry's music hit and then he came back out. Believe it or not, Mark Henry attempted a spin-a-rooney brilliantly and ate an RKO for his troubles. Orton then walked around greeting the fans and taking some pictures. He certainly seems like a lot more fan-friendly in that regard as opposed to Cena last night at Raw, who just left after their match. And that ends my report for this week on the WWE SmackDown, NXT, and Superstars. See y'all next week, or y'all can see me next week. Well, after Sunday night will be your TNA pay-per-view.